Investigators were surprised to learn that Wanda was still the beneficiary of Bill's $20,000 life insurance policy. She denied vehemently having anything to do with Bill's murder and had an alibi for the night of the murder. Wanda was in a bar with her new boyfriend with plenty of witnesses. Brian also had a solid alibi. He was camping with a best friend, Mike Hale, and they had receipts to prove it. Police interviewed Brian and they found no motive, but investigators noticed he was wearing white athletic shoes similar to the impression found at the crime scene. It was taken into evidence for evaluation. Brian said that the print was left at Bill's house because he had been there a few days earlier to collect some of his mother's belongings. Police wanted to investigate Brian's alibi further and discovered his best friend Mike had a prior conviction for robbery and had served time in prison. When Mike was called in for re-questioning, he cracked under pressure. He admitted he was with Brian on the night of the murder. They stopped by Bill's house. Brian went inside to talk while Mike waited in the car, and Brian returned covered in blood and holding an axe. Brian said, "Well, he'll never hurt my mother again." And the two walked to an office park where Brian threw the axe near a dumpster, which investigators were able to recover. No fingerprints were found on the axe, but they did find some human hair and dried blood. The hair and blood were analyzed. Brian said Mike was the killer, and Mike said Brian was the killer. Investigators obtained the clothing Mike wore the night of the murder and found no spatter. Investigators did find tiny specks of spatter on both Brian's sweatshirt and jeans, consistent with the type of beating. Cruz then admitted he was at the home the night of the murder getting his mother's belongings. He claimed Bill was drunk and attacked him with the axe, so Brian took it away and hit Bill in the head with it. He said Bill was breathing when he left and didn't kill him, so it was Mike that must have returned to the house later and killed him.
Now, how should you proceed? On your group case notes, have a discussion and update the list of witnesses and any experiments or investigations you would carry out. When the entire group case notes document has been completed, call Mrs. Cardellini into your breakout room where she will now share the evidence. In your group, break up the various types of evidence to be analyzed. During Wednesday's asynchronous time, you will analyze just one type of evidence on your own. You'll need to have at least 2 people in each group analyzing the same evidence. That way you can catch errors when you come back together as a group. You will not be analyzing the evidence today. Mrs. Cardellini will post a specific worksheet to go with your evidence to help you answer the correct questions. After the evidence has been split up within the group members, take a look at the mock trial slides and courtroom script so you're ready to start making your mock trial script on Friday.